is not necessarily a different subject. It's about the roster still. CBS says the Niners have the 16th best roster in the NFL. That's as mediocre as it gets. That's different than the way we talk about the Niners locally. The way we talk about the Niners locally is their roster can compete with anyone's roster when healthy, no matter who their quarterback is. I mean, at least this year, Lance and Garoppolo. Do you guys agree with CBS's ranking? What do you think? Ben, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so I think initially when I saw the Niners in the middle of the pack, I wasn't too hesitant to go one way or the other. But the more I dig into it, you actually think about it. If you look at the teams that CBS put ahead of the 49ers on that list we're talking about, it's teams like the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Dolphins.
The Broncos?
Yes, the Broncos. The Steelers are 9th on their list, Grant. It's insane. I don't know what they're basing this off. And if you look, a lot of their reasoning for a team like the Miami Dolphins is for like Tua Tagovailoa and Mike Gesicki, right? And Jalen Waddle, who I think Waddle's great. But the point is that I think if you look at the way people frame this and the way specifically this article talked about it, 49ers are much better than they should be on this list. In fact, they should be top 10, 11, 12 in my opinion. So I don't really understand this idea that the 49ers have the 16th best roster in the NFL. I think all teams are dealing with health one way or the other. So when you kind of take away that factor from it, the 49ers should be much better than a middle of the pack team. And if you're taking that into account, even like I said, there's 3 teams who I just named who I feel like the 49ers should be ahead of. So I just don't quite understand this list.
Yeah, I have to agree as well. I mean, there was 3 or 4 teams. One that I would add to the list that Ben said was like the Cowboys too. Being a better team than or better roster than the 49ers with their questions at quarterback and how's Dak coming back, and then all the guys that have kind of aged at their positions and the contract issues that they have there as well. I thought that I didn't really understand because I thought. Once they listed, they would put reasons why, as far as why they listed what they listed. But there was
so Suneil.
I know, exactly, right? So I think this is all because your channel is bigger than CBS's on when it comes to the Bay Area. So they're taking shots at the 49ers because of that. But this list, I didn't really understand it. I mean, even a team like Baltimore, when you look at their team, they have, a lot of great weapons on defense, but when you look at their offense, other than Lamar Jackson, you're not really looking at the receivers as like super crazy receivers or all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really understand how they were judging this. They didn't put any criteria or anything like that. It was just kind of like who maybe had the biggest stars, and then that's how they kind of rated it, right? So when you put it that way, I mean, the 49ers might be middle of the pack as far as star power, just because the players that we have aren't necessarily superstars in the NFL, but we all know if you're rating them as far as top players at their position, 49ers are going to have a lot of top players as far as effectiveness and so on and so forth, but maybe not just like the superstars that are marquee players in the NFL other than Kittle, really. So if that's how they judged it on, I guess that's probably why they put the 49ers at 16. But overall, I thought the list was pretty trash.
Yeah, the Rams were at 4th. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody.
Good to know. 4th. Wow. 40 million.
But they have the most. They have a lot of notable players: Stafford, Ramsey, Aaron. So they have like all of those like superstars, which is what I think this list kind of boiled down to when you look more in depth to it.